What is up, my YouTube family? We're back again with another one today, podcast number 7. We're actually going to be reacting and talking about the Kiely Rodni case, the cold case, I guess you could say it is, because it actually is a cold case at this point. It's been 2 weeks, maybe a little over 2 weeks, and we still haven't found this 16-year-old girl. There's no leads. We have no leads to this whole subject. They have been searching the water. Adventure Without a Purpose was there. They have not found anything. I think they've searched 3 reservoirs now and have not found nothing. So this girl was last seen at Truckee Truck Stop. It shows her on camera. There's no other videos of this girl at all. We have the family who's needing closure on this. And the family even goes to say that they're not actually thinking that she ran off the road, that she's not in the body of water, what they're saying. I mentioned yesterday in my podcast as well that the family that is actually there, there was no tire marks going into the reservoir. We all know if you push gas, you spin in wire, is as in grass, excuse me. So there would be tire spins. If you push a car or brake, there would be tire marks. There would be tire marks of a heavy SUV going off the side of the reservoir. This reservoir is 55 to 60 feet deep. So we're not messing around with something that's like 10 feet deep. Even though they did, the Venture Without a Purpose said there were some spots that was like 7 feet deep. In some of the other reservoirs. I guess this place is surrounded by water. It's up in the mountains, so we all know that. Anyways, guys, her hoodies is what catches me. So the media has her wearing what, 3 different hoodies now, something like that. So where's her clothes? Where's everything that why? This is what I don't get. So why isn't this more on live stream, like on the news, like the news covering it? I don't get this. These cases like this is something that goes on forever, and I'm hoping this case is actually closed soon and the family gets closure on that part. Anyways, guys, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like, subscribe to the channel, it's highly appreciated. We're actually going to be listening to Anna talk today on her stream. 10 to Life is actually, that's a good name. I like that name. Anyways, we're going to be reacting to her. We're going to be talking a little bit, putting our inputs on behind hers as well. So let's get into it. Let's jump into it, guys.
Sunday, I had a very lengthy phone call, probably a little bit over an hour, with somebody who is very close to the investigation and directly in communication with the family. Now, this person, for obvious reasons, has asked to remain anonymous. Sorry, this echo is still killing me, guys. Has asked to remain anonymous because, of course, everybody is, vilifying everybody on a witch hunt out there, and this person prefers to stay behind the curtain. That being said, there
And I get that. I understand that because a lot of people sending out death threats to people. Death threats. Whenever we're trying to look for a 16-year-old girl, people are getting death threats on top of that. People doesn't need death threats. People doesn't need threats whenever all this is going on. And the thing about it is too, whenever YouTubers actually cover stuff like this, don't look at them as a person that is trying to come in and solve this murder, because everybody's trying to do that at that point. So if you look down on somebody about talking about this subject, then basically you should be looking down upon yourself too, because you're doing the exact same thing. Actions reflect on other people's actions. If you make an action, what is it? You get an action back, correct? So let's all just be adults about this whole thing. Anyways, guys, this little girl's missing and we all need to come together at this point. All right, let's continue with this.
was quite a bit of information shared, not as far as updates necessarily, but more of kind of things that are happening in the investigation and things that people think are really going on who are close to the case believe. So I had like a laundry list of questions that I had gone through with this person. So I have all the answers. There's certain things that they had requested that I not share until they are given permission. So I was planning on doing a more formal pre recorded video to go through all of that, but I might just go through some of it as we're on here today and then maybe circle back once I get approval on a couple of those pieces of information, just because they are important details and very sensitive, and there wasn't clearance, I don't believe, to share them. And so, if there's any risk that those details could jeopardize the investigation, obviously, we're not going to do that. So, we'll get to that too. And to start, I made a post today about a tip that I had received last night from somebody. Somebody in Mesa, Arizona had reported seeing Kiely's car with the matching plates back on the 11th, which is last Thursday, I believe, Thursday morning. Now, this person had said she had never heard of the case, but that she was with her father, and they make it kind of a game between the two of them that anytime there's a license plate that looks like it might say something or have a phrase or something like that, they try to figure out what it says. So then they did this game. And then I believe she had said that that night she was on YouTube and came across this case. And so she's like, holy shit, I remember that license plate vividly. And this is all in the screenshots that I posted, but basically like called her dad to be like, Dad, do you remember what car that was? And he did recall. And so before she even reached out to me, she reached out to the tip line, and that's in the screenshots as well. And then the detective reached back out asking for more information, asking for her to call them. She did. She followed up more times. And so this was all happening between, I believe it was Thursday.
And this is another thing about this whole thing. You know how many tips the police has gotten? 1,500 tips. And that was of last week. 1,500 tips. And not one of these tips has led to this girl. I've said this before in my other podcasts. People are trying to get their voices heard. That's what people are doing. That's what they want to do. They want to get their voices heard. And whenever they get their voices heard, it slows down all progress because they have to go for another lead. And yes, that's how murders are solved, is by leads. Then you got to start from scratch one, and you got to go forward with that to solve another one. That's the reason why we have detectives to do that type of work. We have this, okay, we could scramble words that doesn't mean a thing. We could unscramble them. We actually have people to do that in FBI, but we can't figure out where the pictures are at of this party. We can't figure out where her car's at. We can't figure out if there was a party. Some people saying there was a party, some people saying there was not a party. So my question is this: if there was a party, where is the pictures? And yes, the cops hold pictures back, but you're telling me that somebody doesn't dislike somebody that's going to post a picture of somebody on this party on their social media. There's supposed to be 300 kids there. You are not going to follow all 300 kids. You don't even know the 300 kids' name to follow. Anyways, let's continue to see what she has to say.
Thursday and Saturday into Sunday. And then she had emailed me last night with this. And I threw it into my maps, Google Maps, saw that it's a straight shot down, and I shared it. And the reason I shared it is because even in my mind, I hate saying this because I am hopeful. In my mind, I think it's probably unlikely that whoever has her car, if it is out there and if they are driving it, wouldn't have changed the plates by now. I'd imagine they would have. I also think that scanners probably would have picked up the plates by now. However, we have seen stupid ass criminals. We've also seen plates slip through scanners before. So when she sent it to me, when I read through her explanation as for why she was so certain that this was this car, I was like, you know what? I'd rather err on the side of caution, put it out there so that people in the surrounding states, New Mexico, California, Arizona, can be on the lookout for this car, because any more time lost, if this was all the way back on the 11th and we're on what, the 15th, like they're probably long gone by now, first of all, but still, I mean, better to get more eyes out there than not, just like an Amber Alert, even though I know they're not doing the Amber Alert in this case. So I shared it. I want to make it clear, and I made it on the post clear as well, that law enforcement has not confirmed that this was an accurate sighting. And again, I would believe that somebody, if this were.
Look, a person that this car is not being driven by nobody else. Nobody else is driving this car. I'm 100% sure of saying that. Yes, it's an assumption, but it's a very damn good point, because who's going to be stupid enough? And yes, there are stupid criminals out there. We see them every day. So who's going to, you see a car going down the road, you get the tags. Great job. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be looking out for this stuff. An Amber Alert. Why wasn't there a missing person alert go out? This girl's 16 years old. No Amber Alert, but we get Amber Alerts. I was at Walmart the other day, and our phones, remember the movie Cell, where the phones go off? That's what it reminded me of. I was walking through Walmart, and everybody's phone started going off. And it was an Amber Alert. Why wasn't an Amber Alert put out on this girl? Why isn't this being... They're scrolling back on their search. Adventures with Purpose is there. Okay? Is that the reason why they moved back? Because of that? Because they wanted to give them their space? Or is it because all their leads is dead ends? So my mind always goes back to the point of, if there was 300 people there, why isn't something being leaked on social media? And I know people's going to say, well, the cops is holding back. Oh, cops ain't holding back 300 different people. They don't even know who half the people are. Yes, we have facial recognition stuff. You can scan someone's face and tell who it is, tell their birthday, tell all that stuff. All that stuff is out there. We have people that can make sketches of people, psychics that knows what they look like, and sure enough, that's what they look like. So anyways, guys, let's see what else she has to say.
An abduction or somebody trying to potentially sell her across country lines, that they would have been smart enough to change the plates, but you never know. So I figured, let's just throw it out there and be on the lookout. Honestly, it couldn't hurt. It's not going to send resources to Arizona to look, but anybody who's in the area can look. So what does it hurt, right? And it wasn't considered an Amber Alert because it didn't meet the criteria. So there's that.
It didn't meet the criteria? This girl's SUV's gone. This girl cannot be found. This video was what, a week after basically she was come up missing? This girl's 16 years old. And an Amber Alert was not put out? Whatever. Anyways, guys, that's mind-boggling to me, because this girl needed an Amber Alert put out. This Amber Alert may be able to catch whoever this was, but we had no leads on a tag. No leads on a color of a car besides her car. The people's not driving her car. Look, whenever we talk about organized crimes, it's organized for a reason. Okay? That's all there is to it. She just said trafficking. I've said before that I believe 100% in my mind that this is a trafficking case. You can't find her clothes, can't find her, you can't find her SUV. You have limited video of her. And there's no pictures of this party. That tells me that possibly she was picked up and she's in trafficking. That's my belief. And hopefully this adventure of purpose finds something, and I'm wrong, totally wrong. Hopefully she's found okay. I just want closure for this family one way or another. And I'm sure they feel that way too. Anyways, guys, let's see what she has to say.
Let me just refresh some of these pages. I'm hoping that we will be able to stream the press conference. If you were watching the one on Saturday, they didn't stream it live. They ended up posting it about 45 minutes after the fact, and it was a recorded video. I don't know if they're doing that because they don't want the public to stream it and share it in the moment. I don't know if it's because it was a weekend and that's the reasons they chose to do it. So we'll find out at the top of the hour if they are going to stream it. But as always, if you happen to see it pop up somewhere before I do, let me know. I've been pretty quick the last few times to catch it right away, but just in case. And if we don't see it right away, and if nobody else is seeing it right away, it could be because they're going to do what they did Saturday and post it, they're 45 minutes later or whatever that was. So let me start by before I go into this list of things, and I apologize, I didn't put slow chat on. So hopefully it's okay, but just let me know in the comments. So I want to start by saying when I did speak with this source, and I hate saying that word, but so just this contact person, when I spoke with them, they are close with the family, direct contact. And I can't say exactly how they're involved without giving away who this person is. But what I will say is this. Now, I have been asking questions since day one about the inconsistencies and the red flags that I've identified in Sammy's version of events, as have many of you. This person stated that they, along with the family, the close friends, and the community, do not suspect Sammy or Jagger to be involved at all. Now, that of course doesn't mean that there isn't some, you know, omission of the truth somewhere or involvement potentially. But for those very close and the family and the friends, they truthfully do not believe that they have any sort of involvement in this. And in fact, and I'm just going to kind of go back to some of my notes here.
So I've got a question. Everybody that covers them names says that there potentially wasn't no involvement, but it may have been involvement. So which one is it? So if you're getting information from this family, of course their family's not going to think they're involved. Do I think that they was involved? I have no clue. I'm not a psychic at that point. So I'm not going to put my perspective on that because I'm almost 100% sure that this is a trafficking case. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. So, but now we're going into the Sammy girl and the way she put together this whole thing so quickly and knew what to do, tell everybody where to go. Why was this girl involved? This girl was a partying friend. Not a friend for partying. And her parents had no clue how to put this stuff together. But this girl, Sammy, jumped right in there and started telling people where to go. So, picture this. If you have an involvement, verbally involvement, let's say verbally, and you get involved in something and you know how to do this stuff, that's taking all eyes off of a person, correct? So, guys, we have people that's not coming forward with this, that's not saying what they need to be said, that's not telling on one another. People at this party, if there's 300, and they said they had boxing gloves doing friendly fights at this party. Where's the pictures? 300 kids, and I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm trying to let everybody know that 300 kids don't like each other. 300 different social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and not one photo of none of this stuff. Doesn't make no sense. Anyways, let's see what she has to say.
Here from that call, it was stated that, let me pull this up. Sorry, guys. It was stated that a friend of Kylie's mom has said that Sammy was very crucial to this entire thing, saying that as soon as Kiely went missing, she was extremely organized. She knew what to do, she knew how to put things together because the parents just had no idea where to even begin. And so the community, again, does not believe that she or Jagger is involved in any way. And nobody close to them suspects them, they support them. That being said, apparently the community is not very happy with the fact with how front and center Sammy has been with this. The way that this person had described it to me is that Truckee is a very humble, quiet, private community, and they don't like the fact that these kids are kind of front running a lot of this. And with that, I'll kind of segue into this next piece of it because one of our biggest questions here has been what's the relationship between Kiely and Sammy? They don't follow each other on social media. There's no real photos anywhere of the two of them together. Is she the best friend? Why is she the front face of this and not Mags? A lot of questions. So this person did confirm what our suspicions were and what my suspicions had been as well. And the exact quote that this person used was that Kiely and Sammy are party friends, more like acquaintances, and that they were both very social people, and that's kind of how they got along. But this person also has access to all of Kylie's private social media accounts and has said there is not a single photo of the two of them together. And she knows that they are not very close, that they are new friends and they are.
So you're telling me that they are party friends, okay? This girl has access to Kylie's social media, and there's no photos of the two of them together. What? That is totally mind-boggling. That is out there because what girls are going to go to parties together? And who else know what happens at these parties? And not one picture of them drunk, of them something together, dancing. Some pictures is going to be out there. Some pictures, this social media has been deleted. That's it. You know as well as I do that girls take pictures of themselves and of at parties and of boys and all of the other stuff. Pictures are taken. Where are they at? Anyways, let's continue to see what she has to say.
They're, again, party friends. Now, I said, I had seen some of the social media stuff, and I know that all of these kids aren't very active on social media. Kids in general usually are, though. So maybe it's just a Gen Z thing that now the cool thing is not to be on social media. I don't know. So I asked. And this person said, absolutely not. They are Snapchatting all the time. She knows for certain that she and Mags are always taking pictures together, taking videos together. So the fact that there would be no documentation of Kiely posting at the party, first of all, but more than that, posting photos or videos with Sammy, not only from that night, but really ever, just illustrates what that relationship really was or wasn't, I should say. Now, that doesn't mean that Sammy shouldn't be talking, because if she was, in fact, the last person to have seen Kiely, absolutely she should be sharing that information. And perhaps she feels a bit of guilt for leaving her. And maybe that's what this whole thing is stemming from and why she feels so inclined to be the face of it. I don't know. But I just want to be fully transparent with everything that I'm hearing. So they're saying that they were just party friends, but also saying that nobody suspects Sammy and nobody suspects Jagger of any sort of wrongdoing. That being said as well, I keep saying that being said as well, this person also said that the family, close friends, and community do not at all believe that she is in the water. Let me correct that. Believe that she was in an accident and is in the water. They think it is so unlikely for a multitude of reasons, and I'll explain. One of them being that the lodge is in such a remote area, and everybody keeps talking about driving off cliffs, driving into the water. This person knows the exact road to get from the campsite to the lodge and said it would be nearly impossible for her to get into an accident and go off into water, saying how actually when she gets to the lodge, she has to park quite a bit of distance away, and you can either walk in, which is a little bit of a trek, but like when you bring groceries or anything like that, you have to actually like ski in or snowmobile in. Like she's like, it's just so remote.
And you see, another thing, there was supposedly a party right next to this place. They said that on the podcast yesterday that I actually is on my channel with Ryan Upchurch on it. And if you go back and you watch that video, the woman says there was a beautiful, luscious Hispanic party that they was having right next to where all these kids was at. And everybody asked her, why is there no pictures? Did you guys see anything, hear anything? And she says, I can't answer that. And they was like, well, if you did, then where's the photos? Where's this? And she said, I'm sure the people's being questioned by the cops. So where's that information at? So if these people had a beautiful, luscious, whatever party next door, I could really give a shit what kind of party they had next door, because it's not about that party. It's about this missing kid. But in other words, if you have a party next door, it's a big thing. If they took pictures of this party, that they out the windows, if they took pictures of maybe something that was going on, you know, the fight, I'm sure the boxing matches was loud, something, some kind, pictures is going to be everything in this case. Her phone is going to be everything in this case. We need to find pictures. We need to find stuff on social media, and we need to find her phone. If we, in my opinion, I don't think her car is anywhere near this place. In my opinion, I think it was trafficking. And if that's the case, her car is probably gone. I'm just saying it straightforward, straight out there. That's what my belief is trafficking. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I appreciate everybody watching, guys. I'm going to continue to cover this. I just had to share a little bit of you because I needed to talk more about this. But everybody, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like, subscribe to the channel. It's highly appreciated. My YouTube family, I love you guys. Deuces, I'm out. Thank you, guys.